Hi guys, how do you like your ogbono? Do you like okra in your ogbono soup or you just like your ogbono plain? Personally, I would never eat any ogbono without okra in it. I am not used to it. This is the only way I know how to enjoy ogbono and I'm here to show you how to make it, guys. Come along with me, let's do this. So I'll be using beef and goat's meat majorly. Then I have some beef tripe that I'll be adding as well. You can use either goat's meat or beef. You don't have to combine both together. So I'll be adding some scotch bonnet pepper, onions, seasoning cube, and then I'll be mixing that together and then cook it until it's really soft. I like my meat very soft, so I'm going to be adding a lot of water to it just to make sure that it cooks perfectly well. So after my meat is a bit cooked, I'll be going in with the stockfish head. If you don't have this, you can use stockfish powder. If that's what you have available, it's totally fine. Then I have the ingredients that I'll be using. Please watch carefully so that you don't miss out any ingredients and you can be able to recreate yours perfectly well, guys. So moving on, I'll be dividing my okra into two parts, and that's because I need one part to be finely chopped and the other part to be just sliced a bit big. And this is what I'm doing, guys. Just make sure that you slice one part. You can see the size, you can see what it looks like. So after this is done, I'll set aside and then I'll go on to the second part where I'll be chopping the other one. So moving on to the other part of the okra, because my chopper is not so big, I'm trying to cut this okra into small sizes so that it can fit into my chopper perfectly. So after that, I'm going into the chopper with the already sliced okra and I'm going to pull this. This is a manual chopper. If you have the electric chopper, is totally fine, you can use that. So I'm just going to do this continuously until I arrive at the perfect texture and the perfect size that I want this to be. I'm going to repeat the same process for the second batch, and that's it, guys, for the chopped okra. So for those who are wondering why I'm adding water to my already chopped okra, this is not compulsory. This is just something I like to do personally because it makes my okra not look too dried and it makes it a bit wet and moisturized, so to say. So setting that aside, I'm going into my ogbono with my palm oil and I'm going to mix this together until I can't feel any dryness in the ogbono anymore. You can see that it looks really wet with the palm oil now, so it's perfectly fine now and I can move on to the next stage. So I'm doing this just to melt the ogbono and the palm oil mixture, and you can do this in a separate pot by boiling water in a separate pot, but this just saves me so much time. So at this point you can see that the ogbono is melted already and I can just take it out, cover the pot so it can continue its cooking process. So after a few minutes, my meat is well done, so I can start my ogbono now. I'm going to add some crayfish into that, and then the cooking process for the ogbono has started. So I'm going to be adding more palm oil. I just don't like my ogbono looking too white, so I'm going to be adding more palm oil, and then I'm going to stir this just a little bit, and then I go into the pot with my melted ogbono. So one thing I'd like you to note is that after I go into the pot with my ogbono mixture, I make sure to not cover the pot. I don't do it. Some people might argue and disagree with me, but that's fine. This is my method and this is the way I've always done it, and this is the way that it works for me. Whenever I cover the pot, it just doesn't come out really nice. So I prefer to stick to not covering my pot until the cooking process is completely done. what I'm just going to be doing is checking the texture. If it needs water, I'm going to be adding water. So you can notice that I did not add pepper. I did not add any other seasoning cube. The pepper I used in boiling the meat is the same I'm using to cook the food, because I basically just poured the ogbono inside the stock. So I did not add any seasoning cube or salt, no pepper. Everything was already added from the beginning while I was boiling my meat. But if you feel like after all this process you have a taste of the food and you feel like you need extra salt and seasoning cube, please make sure to add to your taste. For me, this was totally fine. Everything was fine from the beginning, and I did not just add any other thing to it, guys. So you can see that I already went in with my chopped okra before adding the sliced one inside of it. So basically, guys, okra is ready. I added some more water just because it was a bit thick. I actually like my okra very, very thick. My mom used to tease me, to say that I'll eventually marry an Igbo man because I like thick ogbono. Let's see how that unfolds anyway. So basically, guys, this is ogbono soup with okra, and I added some more crayfish just for extra taste and flavor. And pretty much your ogbono with okra is completely ready. I had this with poundo and it was absolutely nice. I hope you will try this out. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.